Welcome back, guys. So last time we read, Michael and Austin got the two of the bullies that had been bullying Michael earlier in the book, Jack and Wade, to drive them to California. I think because they're one of the only few people in the school that have a car that they can use. So they're on their way driving to California to the academy, and we found out that Michael can't be electrocuted, and that electricity makes him stronger. And we also found out that Dr. Hatch has some sort of evil plan involving another boy, but we don't know anything about this boy. But we know that they need Michael Vey to finish their plans. All right, so next chapter, chapter 30, Chickens and Eagles. Upon their return to the academy, Tara and Griffin helped Taylor carry her purchases to her new room on the third floor of the building, a beautiful, well lit suite across the hall from Tara's. The room had wood floors with a thick Persian rug and a 200-year-old antique French armoire across the room from her four-poster bed. The room was much larger and nicer than hers at home and had its own bathroom and walk-in closet. Taylor noticed that the windows didn't open and were made of something other than glass. Tara had assured her that it was for her protection, not to keep her in, but Taylor still had her doubts. While she was thinking about where to put her new clothes, Tara walked in. Need any help? I'm just deciding where to put it all. Tara picked up one of Taylor's new skirts. I think we should share clothes just for the fun of it. I've always wanted to do that, but no one here is my size. She turned back to Taylor. So are you excited about your party tonight? I guess. You don't sound excited. I'm still homesick. Tara walked over next to her. I know, but once you get to know everyone, you'll feel a little better. Taylor sat on her bed. I don't know about that. I really just want to go home. Don't you miss your family? What do you mean? The family who adopted you. Oh, they're gone. Gone? Tara sat on the bed next to her. Well, I started coming to the academy when I was 6. I'd stay here all week, then sleep at home on the weekends. It was a good arrangement. Then one day there was an accident. My parents' house caught fire and they didn't get out. Fortunately, I wasn't there, or I probably would have died too. Taylor was stunned. That's horrible. Do they know what caused the fire? The fire department said it was an electrical fire. Ironic, huh? Okay, that is way too suspicious. So it definitely seems like Dr. Hatch may have just killed her parents in order to be able to fully adopt her. This is crazy. Taylor had a sick feeling about it. All the fun of the day drained away. She thought about the man visiting her house and talking to her parents. She hoped one day her house wouldn't catch fire, too. What if it wasn't an accident? Tara squinted. What do you mean? Taylor saw the look on Tara's face and decided against pursuing it. Nothing, she said. So the state let you stay here? Fortunately, in the school contract, there is a clause that in case something happened, Hatch received guardianship. I was so young at the time, I don't remember much. I've lived here most of my life. This is my family. That's why I'm so excited for you to join us. How many live here? 9, counting you. Will Nichelle be there? Yeah, but just ignore her. That's what we all do. Tara started counting on her fingers. There's Quentin. He's the cute blonde. You'll like him, and he's a flirt. There's Brian. He's Puerto Rican. Big muscles, but he's really immature. Kylie, who I love, she was my best friend until you came along. I think she might be a little jealous of you, so I'll give her some special attention tonight. Zeus, he's kind of cute, but I need to warn you that he kind of smells, but don't say anything to him about it. Okay, so Zeus was the name of that guy who helped kidnap Michael's mother, so that's interesting. I don't usually tell people they stink when I first meet them, Taylor said. Tara grinned. It's not really his fault. Because of his electric makeup, he can't bathe without shocking himself. Anyway, he's really sensitive about it. Taylor nodded. Then there's Grace. She's really shy, so it will take a while before you get to know her. And there's Tanner. He's out of the country right now on an assignment. How many of us are there? There were 17 of us in the beginning, but there's only 13 of us left, and some of them aren't in the family. What do you mean left? Tara frowned. Don't worry about it. Taylor looked down. Hearing that 4 of them had disappeared scared her as much as anything else that had happened to her. Do they all have powers, she asked. Every one of them. What kind? All sorts. We don't really talk about that. I mean, of course we know. Like Zeus can shoot electricity like lightning. Brian can burn through things. And Kylie's like a magnet, which means you don't ever give her your credit card because she ruins them. And everyone knows what Nichelle can do. but it's more of a gossip thing. Dr. Hatch says we don't talk about it because it's like in the business world. Employees don't talk about each other's paychecks because it causes problems. Tara glanced up at the clock on the wall. Is that really the time? I think so. She grabbed Taylor's hand. Come on, we can't be late. The girls hurried downstairs to the main floor. The other youths had already arrived, and the dining room was loud with chatter. The dining room tables had been brought together to form one long rectangle, large enough to seat the whole family. Taylor and Tara were the last to arrive, and every eye followed them in. A handsome blonde boy stood as they entered and smiled at them. Wow, I'm seeing double. I'm Tara, Tara said. And that makes you Taylor, he said, slightly bowing. I'm Quentin. I'm the student body president. Welcome to Elgin Academy. Hi, Taylor replied shyly. I mean, thank you. Welcome to the family. He took her arm. Let me introduce you to the rest of the gang. That's Brian. Woohoo, Brian said, pumping his fist in the air. I'm number one. He punctuated his claim with a loud belch. Number one dork, Quentin said. I told you, Tara whispered to Taylor, immature. And that's Zeus. Zeus bobbed his head. Taylor noticed that he was seated with spaces between him and the others, and she remembered what Taylor had said about his smell. That's Kylie and Grace. Hi, Kylie said tersely. Grace looked at her but said nothing. Quentin said to Taylor, don't take it personally. Grace is a little shy. She's that way to everyone at first. He looked at Michelle, who was sitting alone at the far end of the table. You've already met Michelle, he said. Michelle glared at Taylor. There's also Tanner, but he's out of the country. You'll meet him in a couple of weeks. Since you are the guest of honor, Dr. Hatch asked me to seat you at the head of the table. He will sit to your right, and Tara, Quentin said, Dr. Hatch requested that you sit to Taylor's left side. I'm going to pause for a second. So I'm starting to think they keep bringing up Tanner as being one of them, but he's not there. He's out of the country. I bet that's the boy that Dr. Hatch was talking about. Where's the boy? Oh, he's in Rome right now. We need Michael to finish our plan. So they're doing something with Tanner, apparently, and they need Michael. Ooh, I wonder if Tanner is Michael's twin. Ooh, I don't know. That might be crazy. We'll see. Whatever you say, boss, Tara said. Tara led her to the front of the table, and Taylor sat down. Brian said, hey, you guys look alike. We're twins, idiot, Tara said. You're such a dork, Kylie said to Brian, rolling her eyes. Taylor looked around. She caught Zeus staring at her. He looked away. She thought he was cute. A moment later, Dr. Hatch walked into the room. Sorry I'm late, everyone. I was just finishing up a call. He sat down at the head of the table. You've all met Taylor? I introduced her around, Quentin said. Thank you, Quentin. Now I expect you all to make her feel right at home. Where are you from? Kylie asked. Idaho. Where's that? Kylie, don't embarrass yourself with your ignorance, Dr. Hatch said flatly. Taylor said, Idaho's on the other side of Washington, above Utah, west of Montana. Thank you, Taylor, Hatch said. I guess I'll have to talk to Miss Marsden about her geography lessons. Hatch lifted a small brass bell next to his plate and shook it. Waiters immediately appeared with the platters of food. The chef had prepared a remarkable feast, though Taylor wasn't very hungry after the lunch they'd had. The servers brought in trays full of beef Wellington, Yorkshire pudding, and roasted lamb with vegetables and potatoes. That does not sound very good to me. Taylor filled her plate, but mostly just picked at it as she glanced back and forth at each of the others. Quentin was definitely in charge and the most popular of them all. She guessed that Kylie and Tara had a crush on him, and Zeus seemed jealous of him. Do you find the cuisine agreeable? Hatch asked her. Yes, sir, it's very good. It's not pizza, but hopefully it's easier on your stomach than the sushi. Yes, sir. I think you'll like the dessert as well. We're celebrating some favorable news we got out of the UK today, so everything is English. In keeping with the theme, dessert is an English trifle. Yum, Kylie said. Yum, yum, yum. You're such an idiot, Michelle said. And you're an ugly psycho freak, Kylie said. Ladies, Hatch said. Enough. Sorry, they both said to Hatch, but not to each other. When they had finished their meals, the waiters brought out the trifles, as well as cake, fruit, and pudding served in tall crystal chalices that looked like parfait glasses. This is delicious, Taylor said. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of English cuisine, Hatch said, but they do some things right. As the group was finishing dessert, Hatch looked at his watch, then again rang the brass bell. The head server immediately appeared. Yes, sir. Pour the champagne, please. Right away, sir. The server walked back into the kitchen, then returned with a dark green and black teardrop-shaped bottle. He moved quickly around the table, pouring a small amount of sparkling amber liquid into each glass. Taylor had never tasted champagne before. She watched the bubbles steam upward in clean, bright lines. You drink champagne? She asked Tara. Tara smiled. Of course. We're treated like adults here. She leaned close to Taylor as if sharing a secret. Quentin told me this champagne is more than $3,500 a bottle. Taylor couldn't comprehend it. That's like $300 a glass, she said. Just then Hatch rose from his seat. Ah, he said, sniffing his drink. What an aroma. 1995 Klaus Ambony, simply divine. He extended his glass in front of him. I'd like to raise a toast to the newest reunited member of our family, Taylor. Everyone lifted their glasses, including Kylie, who hadn't said anything since Hatch's reprimand. To Taylor, may her dreams be her dreams, and may all her dreams come true. Here, here, said Quentin. Everyone began tapping glasses except Michelle, who just took a long drink. In honor of this special occasion and other good news, I have a very special treat. I have secured front row tickets for tonight's Colby Cross concert at the Staples Center. Everyone cheered. Colby Cross, Taylor said. She's my favorite singer. I know, Hatch said as he stood, so we'd better be on our way. The limos await. All right, we better stop here for today. All right, until next time.